The rain hadn't stopped all night. It hit the windshield in soft, endless taps as Daniel gripped the steering wheel tighter than necessary. He wasn't supposed to be here. Not driving his boss home. Not watching her fragile, broken state in the passenger seat. And definitely not feeling responsible for her. Because men like him didn't belong in the world of women like her. And women like her, they never looked twice at men like him. But tonight, something had changed. Daniel Carter was the kind of man people barely noticed. A quiet employee, always on time, never complained. But behind that calm face was a life filled with silent battles. Every morning, he woke up at 5 a.m. Not for himself, but for his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. He would make her breakfast, braid her messy hair badly, and walk her to school before rushing to his job. A mid-level operations assistant at a massive corporate firm. He wasn't poor enough to beg, but not rich enough to breathe. Bills piled up, rent was overdue, and some nights, dinner was just bread and tea. Still, he never let Lily see the struggle. To her, he was a hero. To the world, he was invisible. The company's annual corporate party was nothing like Daniel's world. Crystal lights, expensive wine, laughter that sounded fake. He stood near the corner, holding a glass he didn't even drink. Then she walked in, Victoria Hale, the CEO, elegant, powerful, untouchable. Her presence alone changed the room. People straightened their posture, voices softened. She was known for her cold decisions. Sharp mind, no emotions. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. Hours later, everything changed. Daniel noticed her again, but this time, something was wrong. Victoria was drunk, not just tipsy. Broken. She stumbled slightly, trying to maintain control, but failing. No one stepped forward. No one wanted to risk crossing a CEO in a vulnerable state. But Daniel did. "Ma'am, are you okay?" She looked at him, eyes tired, lost. "Take me home." No hesitation. No arrogance. Just exhaustion. Now here they were. Rain pouring. Silence heavy. Victoria leaned her head against the window. "You're Daniel, right?" she murmured. He was surprised. "Yes. You're always quiet." He smiled faintly. "Someone has to be." She let out a soft, broken laugh. Then suddenly, "I hate my life." The words hit harder than the rain. Daniel didn't respond immediately. Because sometimes, silence is the kindest answer. "Do you know what it feels like?" she continued, voice trembling. "To have everything, and nothing at the same time." Daniel glanced at her. Her eyes weren't drunk anymore. They were honest. "People think I'm strong," she said. "But I'm just alone." That word stayed in the car. Alone. Daniel knew that feeling too well. They reached her mansion. Huge gates. Perfect lights. A place that screamed luxury. But felt empty. Daniel helped her out of the car. She stumbled slightly, and held his arm. For a moment, their eyes met. Not boss and employee. Just two tired souls. Inside, the house was silent. Cold. Victoria sat on the couch. Then looked at him again. "Stay, just for a minute." Daniel hesitated. This was wrong. But something in her voice wasn't. So he stayed. "I used to believe in love," she said quietly. Daniel didn't interrupt. "I was engaged once," she continued. "He left, when I chose my career over him." A tear rolled down her cheek. "Since then, I chose power. Money. Control." She laughed bitterly. "And look where it got me." Daniel finally spoke. "Maybe you didn't lose love." She looked at him. "Maybe you just haven't found the right one yet." She stared at him longer than expected. As if trying to understand him. Daniel left after making sure she was safe. No expectations. No thoughts. Just another night he would forget. Or, so he thought. The next morning, he was called into the CEO's office. His heart raced. Did he do something wrong? Victoria sat behind her desk. Back to her usual self. Cold, composed, powerful. "Sit down, Daniel." He obeyed. Then she said something he never expected. "I remember everything." His chest tightened. "And I have a confession." She stood up slowly. Walked toward him. "I don't usually trust people." Pause. "But last night, I trusted you." Daniel said nothing. "I've been watching you." That shocked him. "You leave early. You never complain. You work harder than anyone." She stepped closer. "And yet, no one sees you." His throat went dry. "Why?" Daniel finally spoke. I don't need attention. She smiled slightly. No, you need appreciation. Then came the moment that changed everything. I know about your daughter. Daniel froze. How? I do my research. She paused. And I know you're struggling. His pride shattered in that moment. I don't need help, he said quickly. She shook her head. That's not what I'm offering. Silence filled the room. Then she said, I want you to become my personal assistant. Daniel blinked. That's a promotion. Yes, but there's more. His heart pounded. Victoria took a deep breath. For the first time in years, I felt something real last night. She looked directly into his eyes. And it scared me. Daniel couldn't move. I don't know what this is, she continued. But I don't want to ignore it. Daniel stood up. This isn't right. Her expression changed. You're my boss. And you're a man, she replied softly. Who showed me more humanity in one night than anyone in years. Daniel shook his head. Our worlds are different. Yes, she said. But maybe, that's why this matters. Days passed. Daniel accepted the job. Not for her. For Lily. But something began to change. Small moments. Late-night work talks. Shared coffee. Quiet smiles. Victoria wasn't the cold CEO anymore. And Daniel wasn't invisible. Then came the misunderstanding. A rumor spread. Daniel is using the CEO for money. The words reached Victoria. And for the first time, she doubted him. She confronted him. Is that what this is? Daniel felt something break inside. You think that little of me? Silence. That was enough. He walked away. That night, Daniel sat with Lily. She looked at him. Why are you sad, Daddy? He smiled weakly. Just tired. She hugged him. You're my hero. And that's when he realized. He couldn't lose himself. Not for anyone. The next day, Victoria discovered the truth. The rumor was started by a jealous executive. Daniel had defended her reputation, not used her. Guilt hit her hard. She rushed to his house. For the first time, the CEO stood outside a small, worn home. She knocked. Daniel opened the door. Silence. I was wrong, she said. No pride. No ego. Just honesty. I pushed away the only real thing in my life. Daniel looked at her. Why? Because I'm afraid, she whispered. Of losing again. Lily peeked from behind. Who is she? Daniel hesitated. Victoria knelt down. I'm someone who made a mistake. Lily smiled. Daddy forgives people. Daniel looked at his daughter. Then back at Victoria. Sometimes, love doesn't come in perfect moments. It comes in broken ones. In unexpected nights. In simple kindness. Daniel stepped aside. Come in. Victoria smiled through tears. And for the first time, that house didn't feel small. It felt like home. Sometimes, the richest hearts are hidden in the simplest lives. Love doesn't follow status, it follows truth, patience, and kindness. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, heart. Comment your feelings crying, and subscribe for more emotional stories sparkles.